Why be easy when you can just die?
Woo! Well, I'm Chewy Mew, and welcome to Venom Month. Oh dear, but more specifically, welcome to Rocket Blast Spider-Man dropping in. Today we're going to be taking a look at my custom ToyBiz-ish demo Goblin figure. And this guy's going to be also very important to this review. His waist is loose, though. The base body for this is the Hasbro Spider-Man Origins demo Goblin figure, which I customized it because that one is incredibly inaccurate to how he looks in any capacity. It is a repaint of the ToyBiz Spider-Man Classics Hobgoblin figure, and Sinister Six Spider-Man is also a repaint with a different head. This one was just completely a repaint. Nothing else was changed other than the colors, and so it didn't look like Demo Goblin. It didn't have any of his features. It just looked like if this was Demo Goblin colors. So really quick, the glider is pretty simple. It was originally this transparent orange color, which is actually accurate. And then at some point in time, I painted it silver, and that kind of remains a little bit. And then I painted over with a color that was similar to that one, because this plastic, I wasn't able to take the paint off of. So I tried everything I could, and I wasn't able to take the paint off. So it's just kind of stuck as this sort of mixture color. But that's kind of how it looks. It's also missing the head because my dog chewed it up and he destroyed it. So he doesn't have the logo anymore. And I was trying to make one, but I can't sculpt something that detailed on that. As far as the actual figure here, so the skin color was closer to, like you see that part right there. That's the color the skin was originally, that sort of yellowish. So I painted him with that, including the face there. It didn't have any shading. I think the original ToyBiz one did, and this guy also has some shading and some a wash on the scales and on the face, or the chainmail, I guess it is. And so I painted the eyes red. I added that color to it. I painted the teeth white. I painted them kind of sloppy so that you would see some of the brownish, orangish kind of color his teeth were. If you can see in there inside the mouth, you see that the redness, that's kind of the color of his teeth a little bit. And so I painted the teeth sloppy so you could see some of it kind of coming through. I also cut his ears off because he had big goblin ears, kind of like this guy, so I cut him off. This piece here is made out of fabric, and if you look from the side, it is just this one flat piece of fabric glued to the back of this hoodie piece. But from most angles, it doesn't look just like one flappy piece of fabric. It actually looks like it kind of is like a piece of the hoodie, or I mean, they don't have the same kind of headgear, but kind of like this, it has the point and the swoop to it. This collar piece, or this a hoodie piece. So I was wondering if I should make the hood and the cape two separate pieces, but I decided just to keep it as one. Also, the head range, as you can see on this guy, the head posability is not the best anyway. So it's not like I'm missing a lot of movement for this guy, and I can still rotate the neck. We'll get to the articulation when we do. This button piece, this medallion thing that I guess it's supposed to be a pin that holds his cape together. That's just sculpted out of clay, and I painted it gold. Same thing with this belt. So some interpretations of him have straps, kind of like the Goblin. It looks like Goblin bag straps, like you can see on a Onslaught Green Goblin here. He has this bag strap. He has one going across this way, one going across this way, like an X. And that was one of the designs, and I figured I'm just going to use the design where he doesn't have it, and he has rips on his clothing instead. On the torso here, one thing, if you look at his stomach, it's a bit more filled in. This one, you can see his stomach is way, it's not even flat, it's sucked in. If we look at him like this, you can see his stomach is way deeper in. And so I added some clay and I sculpted it on. It sort of matches the same texture as his chest does. He has these... up here on the body, I sculpted this piece of, which would be his ripped costume, and it goes all the way around the back here. The sculpting is more subtle back here, just because it's on the back, and this butterfly joint covers it, and then the cape covers it too. But I did that because it's supposed to be his costume is ripping and it's folding down, kind of like when Spider-Man's costume rips. And on most images, it's red, so it's this is blue on top, and then the inside of the fabric is red, or maybe it's blood. But then, the other parts, I think he has red underneath his costume, I don't know. These rips here, some of them are sculpted with clay, a couple of these are, some of them. And then the other ones, I just took a knife, and I just kind of, dug in the plastic with it to simulate a rip. As far as the gauntlets here, or these chains, these are made of lime green transparent Lego chains. I didn't have any gold chains that I was willing to sacrifice for this. All the ones I have are used for stuff. So I painted these gold, and the paint does come off, unfortunately, but it's not the most noticeable. Like on camera, unless I put it close up, you can't tell that this was, you can't tell that it was originally, or originally like green, you know. These boot parts are actually made out of fabric, the same fabric I used for the cape, and they don't affect the articulation or anything, and so that's cool. The red doesn't match as well. This is actually the second version I did of this. The first version I did, I used dark red, the same color as this, and they came out like really, really dark. They came out almost a brown color. They came out, this armor piece here, not even this, that's way closer. They came out a red that, it didn't look too good, and so I had to go with a lighter color in order to make them work, and they have like the strings. I cut them very sloppily, so there's like, it is like the, I can't talk anymore, the string pieces here, like the threads or whatever just coming off, so, because this costume is supposed to be like makeshift and ripped. This is the bed sheet packaging, because I use the actual bed sheets, and it doesn't look the cleanest. Like some of the paint is kind of messy, and the glue doesn't look very nice, and there's like all these rips and obviously the deliberate holes, but I did that so it looks kind of sloppy on purpose. With other capes, like my custom Hobgoblin. Oh dear, everyone's trying to pay a visit today. I mean, there's like, it's not the best and not the cleanest looking cape in some parts, but in most angles it looks kind of fine. But you can see it doesn't have any of the strands or any of the threads like coming off compared to this one. The cape, you can see how it was like this big bulge or whatever, or like going upwards. I can't talk, I'm sorry, I'm tired. There was a way that I was able to like get it, you know, like draped over his shoulder. I mean, there's a hole right where the hand goes, but you can have like draped over his shoulder a little bit. You can have it windswept to the side, and unfortunately, because the head, the hood part, and the cape are all one connected piece, if you turn the head, the cape turns, which I guess it kind of works. Like, if he's looking this way, the cape will be windswept this way or something, like he's perching on a building or whatever, or he's like on the glider or something. You get him hunched down, and if he's flying forward, the cape is going like this way, or if he's just standing still, or he's just standing on the glider in midair, it just kind of hangs down. And this cape, it does look overly big. It does look kind of overly big, but I do have his original cape, which is roughly around the same kind of size. Here it is. Oops. And you can see the cape is like roughly the same size. The weird thing is that it looks like the fabric is all bunched together here, when if you were to stretch it out, it would probably go like farther to here. But yeah, it also has holes, and it looks cool. It's a good sculpt. It's just it's not posable, and ever since I made a custom cape for Hobgoblin, I've always wanted to have more fabric capes. So I've slowly just been replacing all my plastic capes on figures with fabric capes, just because I think it looks really cool and it has way more posability. I'm gonna go over articulation just because, and the head, like his neutral position is that, looking up is like that, so not really a lot. And then most of the articulation isn't really affected by the hoodie. It's just this specific figure. Something about when Hasbro produced this, I know I'm blaming Hasbro for this, but when they somehow reused the mold, all the articulation like that this guy has, which is not a lot, but all this kind of movement somehow just never worked on this figure. Maybe it's defective, I don't know. The arms go up all the way, they go all the way around until they hit the cape. He does a butterfly joints, which this one broke. He does a butterfly joint on this one, which has pretty good range. He has a bicep swivel on both arms. You get a single bend in the elbow, which I cut more plastic to make it bend farther. So you can see he bends farther in compared to this guy. So he has like maybe like 4 degrees better range. Not a whole ton better range, but it is a bit better. Zoom my camera back in here. He has a ball peg in the waist, which that's it. It's basically just going to be a rotation, and it wiggles back and forth. He can do the full-on splits, which is a good joint. The legs go back a little bit. They go forward all the way. His legs are kind of loose, though. You do have a thigh swivel here. You get a single bend in the knee, which I did improve the range on both of these. Originally, it was like that, and now it goes in farther. You have a boot swivel. The ankle goes all the way forward and all the way back. No toe joint or finger joint. Also, he has a rotation in the forearm. So yeah, so no wrist hinge, toe joints, or finger joints, which is kind of fine. Let me know, who's your favorite Goblin out of these 3? Out of these figures, which one is your favorite Goblin? But either way, that's all for this video. Let me know what you think about Venom Month. Let me know what you think about this custom. And I will see you guys in the next review.